Hello guys, it's already 4 o'clock, second day. I'm sure you guys want to go home or have. Thank you. Thank you for coming. So let's talk about performance marketing and why your AI marketing strategy is failing and how do you fix it. So let's start with a few numbers, Apparently there are about 120 crore internet users in India. There are 7.8 crore businesses, MSMEs on Udyam platform. And we as a country do almost 2.2 thousand crore transactions on UPI every single day, every single month, not yet per day. So what does this actually tell you? That we have the numbers, we have the market, and we need to reach out. How does a small MSME reach all the audiences and get noticed as to who they are? So, anybody has done any billboard advertising for your company here? Anybody have a Amul kind of ad running? Or one of those Pan Parag Masala kind of ads? And how many of you have actually had any opportunity to run a Google ad, digital advertising, So if you have done Google advertising, you know that you have done digital marketing, and performance marketing is what you have really, done. Okay. So, what was the promise of performance marketing? Oh, you don't need to have a big budget. You really need to engage a agency. You don't need to have a creative team. A lot of this doesn't need to happen because you have got Google Ads. So, a low budget to start, performance, you make the payment only if your marketing performs, and the measure the data that you are getting, and scale what works and what doesn't work, abandon that. Essentially, that is performance marketing. But it looks very easy and looks very good on paper, but when you try to go it, suddenly you discover that, oh my God, there are so many things that I have to manage. The reality is that you have to run Google ads, you have to do meta ads, you have to run it on YouTube, you have to get onto Instagram, you have to have pixel on your website, you have to have tags on Google, and you have to do attribution, and you have to actually monitor conversion APIs, do A/B testing, and you need to know the customer lifetime value, on and on and on, right? It's not easy to get it done. So the promise of performance marketing sounds very simple. From every channel, collect the signals and monitor the metrics and make it work. But the reality is not easy. So let's be honest, what works? And with the advent of AI, everybody is saying, oh, I have got an AI marketing strategy and it will take care of everything. But in reality, what actually happens is AI reduces the cost of expertise. You do not need a creative agency. You do not need a Google advertising expert. You do not need any data scientist to do any models. None of those things, and that's what you think, that the cost will reduce. But what AI really does is it actually reduces the cost of expertise. It does not reduce the need of doing customer research, doing performance analysis, doing A/B testing, doing competitive analysis, all of these. They still remain. So what happens is AI amplifies. The core problem remains. Your customer is only interested in a few things. If your data is bad, the outcome is bad. And it is going to be bad at scale. And the customer, before the prompt, you have to ask yourself, okay, what is your margin? Who is your customer really? What is their lifetime value? Are they going to come back and buy again from me? What need are you actually fulfilling? And why should they trust you? What is your unique selling proposition? Beyond a tagline. If you don't know these answers to these questions, neither will AI. And so, garbage in, garbage out. But if you have gold coming in terms of data quality, in terms of understanding of your customer, having a detailed, profile of your audiences, then you actually get value at scale, gold at scale. So now let's look at India as a market. As I told you, India is a very large market, right? But the problem is, it's not one market, it's hundreds of markets. Speaking dozens of languages, buying differently every 2,000 kilometers. So what works in Bangalore doesn't work in Lucknow. What English and Hindi campaigns work in North India doesn't work in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And what tier 1 city like Mumbai trusts, that same signal is not trusted by a tier 3 city. A small village, the villager has no sense of what the buying is. So this signal, what do you consider? It's also different. And also, a buyer who buys on Amazon is different from the buyer who buys on WhatsApp. So the problem is, India is a diverse market with a large number of micro markets. And how does a small company or a small team of a startup reach out to all these people? What's the problem? You cannot, the hope was what? The message was, just send the right message to the right customer, from the right channel, on the right time. And everything is done. Marketing will generate you tons of leads and you will be able to convert into a lot of business. But reality is not that. It is complex. And the complexity is what causes a problem to all of us. So, the agencies will also be wondering, is AI going to replace us? Am I going to lose my business because now AI has come and everything is automated? So as Jensen Huang famously said that you're not going to lose the job to an AI. You're going to lose the job to another guy who has a better understanding and use of AI. So someone who uses AI is the one who is likely to actually replace you. So better start learning that. So agencies also need to do this. The current agencies, they actually take your money. They say to you, I'll take 20% of the ad spend that you do. Great. Now, 1 month later, they give you a dashboard. They show what happened, how much revenue you generated, how much money you spent, and if you're not satisfied, it's too bad, it is already gone. Let's try the next time. So the next month again you start from scratch and you discover that the same thing happened. The performance is not improving. The spend is increasing. And the answers are pretty much the same, going round and round. This did not work, there was an ad that was not good, there was the geography was not right. All the wrong things actually end up being told to you. What you really need for the next generation or the next era is an agency which is not a reporting dashboard agency, it's a judgment agency. The agency which actually understands all your issues, combines them, learns them, and then brings the judgment to it. If the ad had poor quality contrast, people won't respond to it. So there needs to be somebody who says, hey, this contrast is not good on this ad, let's get it better. And so the agencies of the future will have to be more valuable than ever. They need to understand strategy, intelligence, interpretation. They'll have to bring their game to the next level. And that is what AI will help agencies to be with. They will also be able to go, if you are servicing 5 customers today, you would be easily able to do 25 customers because of the use of AI. So that is what the future agencies will be. So the agencies don't have to worry that AI will take your job. It's actually that you will be becoming more efficient, you'll be able to do a bigger revenue, and you will be able to address a lot more markets. Because what does the customer really want? The customer is only interested in the outcome. He is not interested in the charts, and he's not interested in, excuses. They are generally interested in saying, why are my leads all garbage? Why don't they convert? People click on my ad but never buy anything. Why is my cost of customer up but my annual run rate is low? Why is my competitor doing better than me? He is growing faster than I am. We are in the same market. And then again, questions like, we seem to be doing good in Pune but not in Hyderabad. These are kind of the problems that, we'll have to address. So, what does it happen? AI creates the options, but you have to provide a judgment. AI creates a copy, but you need to understand the positioning. AI summarizes the data. You need to connect it to the profit and loss statement. So, the human intelligence will be amplified. But the real problem is that everybody said that somebody will do it, but nobody did it. Because the workflow is disconnected. The research team is separate, the creative team is separate, the campaign execution team is separate, the dashboarding team is separate, reporting and analysis team. And the one thing that needs to happen, called learning, never happens. So after every campaign, after the post-mortem of the campaign, all we end up doing is redo the same thing all over again. And we never really improve. So every campaign has to start from scratch, and that's the height of, if we keep on doing the same thing over and over again, we cannot expect a different result. So, we've been doing this for about 20 years, and we have come up with a solution for this. We have come up with a product which is called Kynet. It's your AI ad manager, and it actually allows you to do advertising from beginning to end on all the following, the Google ads, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, every one of these channels we can actually do under an hour. Our promise is this: if it took you a week to come up with a campaign, we can deliver it to you within an hour. But I'm not going to do a demo or anything. I'm just wanting to give you what we have done. So your 5-point checklist is this: stop collecting data and start correcting your data. Clean your data. Test your campaigns more frequently. Instead of one run of a campaign and hoping that it succeeds, do 5 of them. And don't outsource emotion. You need to understand, AI doesn't know what it feels when things go wrong. That you have to provide. And you have to measure what matters, not what is, what is easy to measure. So they say you need to count what counts and not what is easy to count. Because revenue, margin, repeat business, trust, these are your key points to monitor. And as a startup or as a SME who's focused on his operation, he doesn't have time to do all the other things. He only wants to monitor those 4 or 5 things. What is my revenue increasing? Is my margin increasing? Is my repeat business growing? And does the customer trust me? 4 or 5 things. And that is all. If you provide him at scale, he will grow, you will grow. So that is it. There used to be a song, right? A rap. Apna time aayega, apna time aayega. No, our time is now. We got to do it now. And we got to improve everything that we have. Thank you very much for listening to me on a 5 o'clock in the evening.